Hello and welcome to the Race to Alaska podcast, the penultimate Race to Alaska podcast of the 2026 season, at least as far as team interviews go. We have gotten nearly to the end of our time talking to the teams. There's going to be a few teams that we, unfortunately, will not be able to get around to as the race itself is upon us. And before that, 70-48 race is also happening next Friday, May 29th, down in Tacoma, starting at 7 p.m. So that will be taking our attention. You should come on down. This week, 3 more interviews. You know that. That's how many we tend to do. I spoke this week with Team Boomerang, who zoomed in from deep inside their lakeside compound. Listen up. Hey, welcome to the least prepared, most fly-by-night, by the seat of our pants, Race to Alaska podcast interview so far. Ben, how long ago did we set up this appointment?
2 days ago, 1 day ago, 5 minutes ago.
I think it was more like 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Which
Yes,
means
correct.
that I have not compiled my usual sheaf of questions. I have not familiarized myself with your applications. I have not read through your adventure resumes. I don't know anything except the one thing that I did notice on your resumes. The only thing that caught my eye was in, we do take physical descriptions for search and rescue purposes. And Ben, you said that you were charmingly handsome, and James, classically handsome. Brian, who is not here on the podcast, devilishly handsome. But then Paul, you joined the team a little later. You do not have a type of handsome. What type of handsome is Paul?
Dad bod handsome, I would say.
Oh, okay. I feel that very strongly, actually. That's a good place to start. So why isn't Brian here on the podcast with us today?
Brian hates technology and he does not like to be in the limelight at all. He's kind of like a hermit guy. So this race is him getting away from his homestead farm big time. And that's already a pretty big move for him. He doesn't even like driving on the freeway. He thinks it's terrifying. He likes to take back roads. So for instance, when he comes up from, Toledo, which is by Centralia, up to Seattle, he takes like 99 and the 101. He takes a 4-5 hour drive instead of just going on I-5. That's just how he is.
Do you think he's going to try to influence you to take some substandard route to catch a can?
No. He's mostly just our helmsman. He's like a human auto helm. He's classic Asperger's. So you just give him a task and he's laser focused, which I love about him. So it's really good. But yeah, he's like just a really hardworking robot human, but also very antisocial, kind of like the Terminator. So yeah, he's basically like the Terminator.
Oh, he's the Terminator. Cool. Well, okay. So Ben, you're the team captain of Boomerang. Paul,
Yes.
sounds like Ben has a leadership technique for sure. There's a command structure on this vessel. Paul, what's your role on the boat?
Would say I'm going to be the backup captain. So we're kind of thinking about doing 2 shifts, switching back and forth between the 2 of us. So 2 people are always downstairs, cooking, sleeping, using the restroom, whatever they need to do. And then we're going to hot bunk and switch out. So I'm going to be taking the leadership command above when Ben's not there.
Okay. And James, what's your job?
Well, I'm glad that I'm here so that Ben doesn't have to explain my personality and job, but I'll basically be doing the same as Brian.
Are you also laser focused?
I can't say that I'm as laser focused as he is. He
All right.
excels there.
Okay, so before the podcast, the screens of Zoom opened up and I got a peek into what appears to be what I'm seeing is a open building with lots of light pouring in from lots of windows. Behind you, James, over your shoulder is a disheveled bed of some kind with shelving full of there's straw hats, and I see the color that makes me think I see foul weather gear.
Yeah.
Lamps are askew. There's a desk over your other shoulder that has two chairs shoved into it in the space of one. There are Rubbermaid totes with nothing in them, spilling over with packing paper. There's a lot going on in this room. Ben, you're tucked away in the bathroom now because we had
Yes.
some pre-taping Wi-Fi and sound issues, and this is the best spot for you. What the hell building am I looking at? Where is it? What purpose does it serve?
So this is my father's lake compound. So David Garman, he's generously let us use his house, one of his houses. And what it was a boathouse that could accommodate a probably like about a 32 footer. But when it burned down, I think it was 97, when they rebuilt it, they planked it over quite illegally. And then somehow it got signed off. So when my dad bought it, it got grandfathered in. And so now, the slip is just right alongside it. So I can just have my boat right outside the sliding glass door. And then we can proceed to, sleep in the disheveled bed, organize the boxes, cook steaks, um, tear apart a pedal drive, splice. This morning, Paul freaking kicked ass, and we got the out haul all rebuilt inside, and then it rained, so then we brought some stuff outside, so we're able to work on the boat with extreme efficiency.
It has a real vibe for sure, that building.
Yeah.
And it also has the vibe, just the look of you all like you've cloistered yourself away, like you're not in contact with the outside world. Maybe I'm the only person you've spoken to in a while that is not at the lake.
Yeah, well, if you can just do everything and not leave, I mean, the run to the hardware store and the run to the grocery store and the runs here and there just to kill your production. So if you can just have everything in one place, then you can just go gangbusters.
James, are you there against your will?
No, I'm not. I was promised that there would be a steak waiting, and instead I got a podcast.
Oh, all right. You got a podcast.
So,
All right. So you're going to race to Alaska. And like I said, I didn't prepare at all. So you're gonna have to tell me everything. Tell me about this boat. And Ben, I know it's your boat, but I want it from a perspective of somebody else. Paul, tell me about Ben's boat.
Well, I'm actually currently sitting in the boat, and it looks like a work in progress right now. We're getting closer and closer by the day, but it's awesome. It's a Catalina 27, and she's strong. When we get her all fixed up, it's going to be a contender for sure. Yeah, it's a beautiful old boat. They don't make them like this anymore. It's great.
Striking review. Do you have anything to add, James?
no, it's certainly a work in progress, but we've put blood, sweat, and tears into it, so I'm pretty happy with where it's gotten to.
Okay. Okay. And now, Ben, you can talk about your boat. I know you've had it for some time. It seems like in the few things I did scan, you have a deep relationship with this boat. Talk about your boat.
I love my boat. I lived on it for about 6 years, and I got a job in California working for the Bar Harbor Pilots. And so I had to sell the boat because it didn't make financial sense. And then I came back to Seattle when that job didn't work out. And I found out the boat was for sale. And I was like, well, I don't want that damn boat. I already deleted my work list on it. And then I found out that it was for sale, fire sale prices, because the guy had too many boats and too many slips. So I went and took a look at it, and I was like, well, I don't know if I want to get this boat again. If I do, I want it to be a partnership. And so I talked to James, who had gone out to Blake Island on a trip with it, and he loves the boat. I was like, James, do you want to do a partnership on it? And he said, hell yeah. And so I bought the boat again, and James is my partner on it. And during COVID, there was nothing to do. So we got a J80 trailer and then hauled it to the place I was living at, Gig Harbor in the yard, and totally redid the bottom, redid the rudder, took out the old inboard Yanmar 1 GM, and just all new rigging, all new stanchions, everything. So I did this whole big makeover of this boat, which didn't make any sort of financial or logical sense whatsoever. But I love the boat. So did all this stuff. And then later, heard about the R2AK. I'm like, it's almost like we've been preparing for this race already. And so we might as well do it now that this thing's all dialed in.
And when was it that you took second ownership again? How long have you had it for the second time?
How long, James?
That seems like it would have been 2001 or 2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. About what,
All right.
5 years. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Deep connection to the boat. Deep connection to the boat. So Paul, you're not an owner. You're a hanger-on. How'd you get looped in here?
I'm a major hanger-oner. I actually just put a post on Facebook on the Racers Forum and just said, hey, I'm super interested. My good buddy John Totten on Dog Smile team. I've been watching him for many years do this, and I want to just be part of it. And I said, hey, if anyone needs help in any way possible, even if it's just doing logistics or whatever, I'm in. And they Team Boomerang had a person drop out. So I said I would absolutely love to come race with you guys. I work for Nautilus Sailing School, and I'm a sailing instructor. So hopefully I can help out in any way possible on the boat.
There's a little thing that I noticed in what you said there that I feel like is something I can pick at a little bit. So you're good friends with John Totten, wonderful John Totten out there in Idaho. Why aren't you on Dog Smile?
They've pretty got a established team. They've been doing it for a while now. If I had the opportunity, but it was not offered to me. John's such an amazing guy. I feel like he is such an amazing storyteller. He could tell you about how he put his shoes on this morning and you'd be entertained. And just an absolutely amazing guy. Always looked up to him. He's literally the person that got me into sailing. But I followed him on his previous races and watched his documentary and all those things and just said, I want to do that also. So looked for my opportunity and this amazing one came up and I'm super excited to be racing with these guys.
I love how you pivoted that question away from me trying to open up a divide between you and John, and you just swung it right back around to this very positive thing. But of course, Dog Smile, what can you say bad about him? If you have not, folks, checked out the story of Dog Smile Adventures, epic failure in their last attempt. It's called Success, a Race to Alaska story. Check it out. So you're in the middle of the Inside Passage. You're sailing up, and it's nighttime. What's going to go wrong that you didn't prepare for? Because by the look of that building, you're preparing for all eventualities, but there's got to be something that's keeping you up at night that you can't prepare for. Don't tell me logs. We know logs.
Logs.
I have an answer for you on that one. Honestly, I think the thing that we're not prepared for is going to be exhaustion. I think this boat is super solid, and I think we're ready as a crew, but I think we're just going to be tired. There's no way around that. Switching off shifts and hot bunking. I think that's the thing that keeps popping up in my head that we're going to have to really fight. And having watched that movie, Success, I think it's good to remember to take breaks completely if needed, not to just push constantly. And so my biggest fear is if we just constantly see the finish line as the goal and not the journey, I think that could be an issue for sure. So realizing that sometimes when you go slower, it makes you faster in the end.
Mm-hmm. James, what are you going to do to keep yourself energized?
Honestly, I'm just hoping that I can snag 6 hours of sleep a day, and I think that's all that I'll need.
I'm on shore. I'm driving boats usually during the race, but I'm not racing, and I don't even get 6 hours sleep a night. So
Yeah.
that sounds a little crazy. 6 hours. That's a lot of time. But maybe
Okay.
coffee. Are you a coffee drinker?
I am.
All right,
Coffee,
perfect.
energy drinks, caffeine. It doesn't matter the
Love it.
form.
Okay, I want to swing back around. I want to talk about Brian because Brian's not here. He can't defend himself. It sounds like
Perfect.
he's off grid. He's a recluse. He's a luddite. Um, he's antisocial. Sounds like a charming guy. And let's talk about him. Tell me. Let's go around and say the best thing about Brian.
I'll go first. Brian is he doesn't ever complain about being cold or in pain or anything like that. He'll just be like, "Oh, there's a lot of blood coming out of my hand. Could somebody get me a Band-Aid, maybe? I don't want to make the deck slippery, you know." And he's just, yeah, he's hard and he's has cold water tolerance. He works on rivers, right? He's a fish and wildlife guy. And so he just works in frigid, freezing waters for 6 hours straight, just moving gravel with a shovel. So he's just a beast, which is awesome. Yeah.
James, what's something else really great about him?
That was really what I was going to highlight. I guess secondarily, he makes almost every video chat with the
Hmm.
team.
Okay.
I mean, it's a much lower bar, but what Ben highlighted is really exceptional about him.
Paul, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would just say that he can really push through hard stuff. And I think he's going to do absolutely fantastic. I think he's an excellent addition to the team for sure.
Fantastic. I love it. Now let's turn it around. We're talking about Brian behind his back. What really just gets under your skin about Brian? Ben?
Um, he could get fixated on some small stuff, and sometimes he can think for a long time on how to get under your skin, and he will antagonize you in a malicious
Ooh.
way. But it's all like true stuff, so it makes you think about how maybe you can improve, but also in a way where you want to punch him in the face, and then when you start to ball up your fist, then he smiles. He's like, "Yes, I've got you to that level."
And he lights up the room with his handsomeness. Was it devilishly, I believe?
He's the one who started that with the
Okay.
description thing. Like he submitted his first with this ridiculous description of himself, and I
Okay.
was just like, all right, well, I have to roll with that, you
All
know.
right, cool. James and Paul, anything to add about just the downside of your teammate?
Come back to me in about 7 weeks. Yeah.
I think the downside of my teammates, he's not here right now, scrubbing the boat like we are. But that's about the
Oh,
only negative thing I have to say about
he's
Brian.
just not chipping in. He's like shoveling gravel somewhere.
He's doing it from afar.
Let's just do a few more topics here. Gotta check in about pedal drives. What's going on over there? Pedal drives, oars, paddles. We got flippers hanging off the back of the boat. What's going on?
That's you,
We've
James.
got a pedal drive that we inherited from someone who intended to do R2AK, who inherited it from someone who intended to do R2AK. And so we are currently rebuilding it. We're not in the teardown process, we're in the rebuild process. And so we're gonna see how far we got this weekend on installing a pedal drive.
Okay. Okay. Solo pedal drive. Any backups to the pedal drive? Stand up paddleboard paddle?
Yeah, stand up paddleboard paddles sitting around that we might take with us just in case.
Yeah, strong move. Love it. Any other like additions and upgrades to the boat to make it super fly?
I think the boat, honestly, is pretty super fly compared to most other boats in general. I mean, we have a real toilet, we have a gimbaled stove, and we plan to eat real food that's hot and cooked. So I think, honestly, we're living a life of luxury compared to a lot of the other competitors for sure. So we've got a heater. I mean, it's pretty decked out. We're going to be pretty comfortable.
That's some big talk. That is some big talk. I'm just gonna pull up here some photographs of this here boat because the way you talk about it, let's go. Uh, it looks like a boat, guys. I don't know. I'm not trying to downplay it, but there is a cute child in this photograph. Whose child is that?
That's part of the return crew, Clarice Garman, who is my daughter. She's 7, and she'll be flying up to Ketchikan, and we're going to take a nice leisurely month-long trip down, back down to Gig Harbor to drop her off for summer camp. So I have to get her back to Gig Harbor on July 27th. That's my second deadline, kind of for this whole endeavor. And that's
Beautiful.
that's the picture. She's the poster child for the boat. And when she turns 18, the wind spirit's hers, and me and James are going to get something bigger and more cozy and comfortable. So
She already she big into sailing?
oh yeah, love it. She's fourth generation.
Fourth generation. So she's 7 now?
Yeah.
Okay, 7 now, which if she's gonna beat the record of the youngest Race to Alaska racer, she needs to be on the younger end of 15 or so.
15.
So yeah, we've had 15. So you got 8 years to get her ready.
Okay.
I mean, that's plenty of time, right?
Wait, solo at under 15 or just
no,
on?
not
Okay.
solo, not solo.
Okay.
That'll
Just
be a new one. That would be a real new one. But no. All right, fellas. So we're
I've got a
gonna
question real quick.
yeah, you got a question? Go for it.
Well, I mean, you said it looks like just a boat, and I'm
I might have been just poking you a little bit there. It's a very clean, well-appointed boat. How about that? I'm here to offend. I mean, what can I say?
Good.
It's part of my job description.
Yeah, I got the fake Chinese Raptor decking because real Raptor decking is super expensive. So I just got the 3M glue-on Raptor decking, and I did it, down below because the moment anybody spills a little bit of beer or wine or something, it turns into a freaking danger slippy slide of
Mm-hmm.
pointy things. So I did it down below, and immediately I was like, "Oh, this is going everywhere on the boat." And so everybody kind of makes fun of it, like, "Oh, do you have enough Raptor decking?" I'm like, you know what? This stuff is awesome. You could put a knee down without totally like killing yourself, and any tools or whatever you set down the deck, it just sticks. So if someone walks on the boat, instead of all your screwdrivers and parts rolling off into the drink, it just stays there. So for projects and stuff, it is awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a lot of that decking on the boat. It is it's kind of like you wrap the boat in bubble wrap a little bit, but
Yeah.
really beautiful looking bubble wrap. It's great. Fans should come down to Race to Alaska Ruckus and see this boat and argue against my initial review of the boat and tell you all how beautiful and luxurious it is. Any last questions for me in this last month before you show up in Port Townsend? I don't have any insights to offer, but I'm here.
So what are we at? 72 boats?
Roundabout theirs. I expect we'll lose a couple. There's always a few that
Yeah.
drop, so we'll probably be upper 60s by the time race day comes along.
Man, that's a lot.
It's a lot. All right, nothing else? You're all set?
Golden.
All right, well, Clarice, if you're listening, your dad is about to go do something real stupid, and you should be proud of him, as are we all. Team Boomerang, it's really good to talk to you. I'll see you next month. Good luck cloistering yourself away. Feed yourself. Make sure that James gets that steak.
He will.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you, Jesse.
later, Jesse.
Everybody, when you head up to Ketchikan this year to populate the finish line, you're going to need some place to stay, and that should be the Landing in Ketchikan. That's where we're going to be staying, and that's where you should stay too. That's where you should eat as well. That is where you will find me every morning of the several weeks I will be in Ketchikan this year at the diner at the Landing Hotel having some eggs. Join me, won't you? The second team in today's episode will be Against Limits Sailing, which also goes by ALS Canada, as they are using Race to Alaska as an awareness campaign for ALS Canada. Pretty sweet. Jen Vincent of Team Fashionably Late sat down with them and chatted. Here they are.
All right. Well, I am very excited to sit down and have a chat with you guys tonight. I am really looking forward to hearing all about how the journey has brought you here and what more you have to do before race day, which is coming up pretty soon. So, against limit sailing, I have Richard, Ken, and Michael here with me, and I'm going to hand it over to you guys to figure out who's going to start talking. But where did this idea to join Race to Alaska start?
That's a Richard question.
Yeah, away you go, Spooner.
So, since 2015, your inaugural race, I've been fascinated with it because it harkens back to the pioneering spirit days of racing, of ocean racing. And so I was fascinated with it, and I just loved the culture behind it. So for years, I've been banging on about it to all my friends, anybody would listen. And I think subconsciously polling them and seeing who was interested. And it took me many a year to finally come across a couple of, let's not call them fools, but a couple of friends that would do it with me. And so the first person I managed to hook in was Ken. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to break him down, but finally he submitted. And then Ken, you enrolled Michael, I believe.
I did indeed. And he was an easily persuaded team member.
So one thing you should know is that Spooner, Richard, he's been a part of our life, racing with him and against him for decades. And he's the adjutant, the guy who's been, come on, let's go on adventure. Let's go do something. He roped us into trailering our boat down to Marina del Rey many years ago to race our Martin 242 there. And he was nagging like a mother-in-law. And our wives kind of let us go, and we had way too much fun. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
So what is the quality mix? Like what are the qualities that make good crew for your particular team?
Well, we all, I think, have a wonderful spirit of adventure. Just these three guys, all of us have been good friends for many, many years, over 2 decades, and we have had a lot of fun already. And we thought we would put the R2AK in our quiver of cool things we've done.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, is there more there?
I don't know but for me, it's being aligned with people that have just a good sense of humor, and we all see things differently. We all have a different way of enjoying something, but these guys I like because they kind of they just do dumb shit, really, and just into having fun, not taking themselves too seriously either, and stuck into things, getting on with things, not making a big deal about things, no drama. It's just all about having fun. And that's why I'm aligned with them, because they want to go out, do stuff, and have fun whilst they're doing it, not take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, if it's not fun, we're not doing it. And that includes type B fun, which is, I think, what R2AK comes under.
Definitely. Yeah, that was going to be my question. Like, this isn't fun all the time. Well, it's sort of fun. It's just a different fun.
We've suffered together.
Okay, so you actually all live on the race course in Canada. You're in BC. So have you gone as far north as you're about to go?
No.
I've been as far as Prince Rupert. We did go through the waypoint Bella Bella, and I can't remember it, but I'm going to experience it again. So that's awesome.
You go, Michael.
I've been fishing with the family in the Broughtons on an annual kind of adventure week for the last 5-7 years. So it's cold up there.
Yeah, the weather really changes once you get into Johnston Strait and head north. It's cooler.
I forgot my toque this weekend camping with the kids. I'm not going to do that.
No, not if you're going to be out at night. Take your toque.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you've got some experience to pool for this. What parts of the route are you confident about, or what parts do you have question marks about?
Everything north of Seymour Narrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't even, I can't account for these two guys, but I think I can say we haven't even done any of our research into the navigation or really taking a dive into that because we just haven't had time. We've been so backlogged with refitting the boat that our bandwidth, which is narrow, admittedly, has been filled with that. And once we get the physical aspects of the boat refit done, then we can move on to the other priorities. And maybe we'll just chat to some people at the Ruckus and ask them, and that'll be it.
There are always people to talk at the Ruckus.
We're pretty lucky with a with a resource in Nanaimo. Wayne Gorey's been up a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really looking forward. I've got a date to talk with him. He says there's some shortcuts he's going to let me in on, so I'm looking forward to his 50-mile shortcut we can take. I don't know if it's through a time warp or what, but I'm really looking forward to it. He got there pretty fast, so I believe him.
Yeah, they had a really good run that year. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about your boat. You have been working very hard. I had a little peek on your Facebook page. You've got some great photos and some kind of journey that you've mapped out there. But let's tell people who are listening about it.
Go on, Kenny.
Okay, well, we found a Wiley 25. It's a one-off boat, only one made. It had sat for a while and we knew right from the get-go it needed a lot of work, but we thought it had potential. It was our little diamond in the rough. We've done a lot of structural, a lot of cosmetic, and I guess refit things that will suit the longer trip, like building a kitchen into it. We've got the galley set up, and we've done a lot of I guess our wiring for, we have a fridge, and I don't know if we should tell everybody that, but we've got a fridge and a freezer in our boat, so it's pretty much luxury.
And a heater.
Yes, and our diesel heater.
That's been a paradigm shift. There was dread, absolute dread with the notion of what are we doing, until the idea of putting a diesel heater came in the boat, and
it's
my
wonderful.
spirits lifted.
Yeah. Yeah, so true.
I think, Kenny, you've been a bit magnanimous with the with the boat refit. But Jennifer, it has been all, and I'm going to moan about it here. I'm just going to come straight out and moan about it. We've had a lot of fun with it, but it has been a lot of work, and sometimes I didn't think there was light at the end of the tunnel. But then when I was listening to the podcast, and there was, I think it's Team Pelagic Banana Slug, and those guys made me feel real good. And I'm not bad-mouthing you guys. You guys have made me feel that we've got great value out of this, because those guys were horizontal on their backs, laying up fiberglass vertically. And I can't wait to see those guys. I'm going to shake their hands, because they make me feel that I've shared the pain and misery in a boat refit in the nicest possible way.
And so we've just had a long weekend. Have you been hard at it this weekend?
Yeah, I just came in 5 minutes before. I thought I was going to be late. I was just bolting together the seat mechanism and mounting for our pedal drive. So we're well underway.
So when you applied, I think you applied as a row propulsion. What happened there?
We did, and we were inspired by a two-girl team from the last iteration, which was Team Orca, and they'd built a platform that load off the back, and we didn't want to have to go through the whole thing of building a pedal drive because it would take too long, and we've got enough other priorities to get the boat in shape. So we said we're gonna just basics like floating. We're going to put a platform on the back and row this thing. But then we came across a pedal drive that was being up for being loaned out from a former competitor, and I'll mention him, a guy called Everard Martin. So I think I did it in 2019. Who did it in 2019? And he has loaned his pedal drive, which is, if you're listening, thank you very much. So we got that off him. Yeah. So that's why we've converted to pedal drive.
What we discovered at the boat's freeboard was actually a little higher than we first kind of anticipated. And we kind of did the math, and our oars would have to be 20 feet long to reach the water. So we decided we'd try something else.
Yeah, that sounds wise.
And this pedal drive that Everard built, which is a marvelous feat of engineering, it's been tried and tested through, I think it's done maybe one or two Race to Alaskas, and it's definitely done at least one Washington 360.
I love all the pedigree components that are starting to cycle through the races now as the race matures. It's pretty cool, and it stitches together the years in all these amazing ways.
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly come a long way from 2015 when, I don't know, was there even a pedal drive in 2015? I don't know.
It's definitely evolved though, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, the pedal drives are really coming to their own too. They're strong.
Yeah, we just need someone strong to pedal it now. We'll be, other than that, we'll be fine.
No one's putting their hand up?
Jeez.
You need an extra towel for the seat for your bum, I can tell you that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good point.
Yeah. So what's left to do? What's on the to-do list for the last few weeks?
Go on, Kenny Michael.
Okay. Well, the things we've got to do, we are still we've got to rig the boat. We replaced all the locations of the fittings and tried to simplify it quite a bit. We discovered that it was a little big boat. Like it's 25 feet long, but it had all the stuff on you'd expect in a 40-foot IOR racer. So we really did try to work hard at getting rid of some of the controls that we felt were super excessive and simplify it. And so we're going to be doing a lot of moving around of our hardware. I guess the majority of the boat now, or the majority of the work to do now is get our mast stepped and just get out and learn how to pedal the thing. We can sail.
And put it in the water.
Yeah, putting it in the water. Well,
we'll put it in the water as well.
Yeah. And I did patch the hole in the bottom, so that was good.
This is good Race to Alaska stuff here. Testing it in the water beforehand is definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
It sounds really great. And and on top of all of this work that you're doing, you're also racing for a cause, which is one that I think probably many people have some form of connection to, and I'd love to have you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's my thing. Not to bring down the joy of the evening, but I lost a couple of friends from ALS, which is noted on my Facebook site, so I'll keep it light. And I've always been trying to think of something that is worthy as a tribute to them, but also for us to raise awareness and a bit of money along the way for the ALS Society of Canada and, of course, ALS research in general. So that's why I initiated it, and then I put it across the bow of these two guys, and they've embraced it as well. So, it was initially just going to be for raising awareness, because actually getting money out of people's pockets for fundraising is another thing altogether. But we have ventured into that, and the money's starting to come in now. And that was it. So I think the Race to Alaska is a worthy billboard. Let's put it that way for the ALS.
Yes, and you. I don't know if you mentioned, but against limits sailing, the initial letters are all just the standing for ALS, and so we're hoping people can notice it and maybe make a contribution, but at least become aware of what ALS is.
For sure. And if they wanted to, how would they do that?
Yeah, it's all detailed in our Facebook site. I can't read off the link, but if you visit Instagram Against Limit Sailing or Facebook Against Limit Sailing, then there is the official link to the ALS Society of Canada to our portal on there.
Excellent. A worthy cause. And I hope that if there's people who are so inclined, they'll look towards it for you. Thinking about the voyage itself, I'm also always curious to know what you're taking for food. You've said you've upgraded your galley. What does that mean? Have you got a gimbaled stove, or what's happening in there?
A can opener.
I like you've upgraded the galley, which means we've built a shelf.
We've got
It's an upgrade.
We've got one.
I saw some of those photos. There was not a lot in there.
It looks like a Notor swan from the outside. Yeah.
Well, Michael's been championing the food, haven't you, Michael?
Been trying. We've done some backcountry camping adventures over the years, and we've become adept at dehydrated meals that have been quite tasty, and happy to have them even if I wasn't backpacking. So tucked into some of the recipes and started producing that kind of stuff, but realized I don't have to worry about weight. Like I could take canned herring if I wanted to. Spooner has other ideas.
So you're going to have the heaviest, tastiest boat.
Yeah, they're trying to get me to eat sardines every day. Like sending me photographs of something, and I don't want to sit on deck and have alley cat breath all the time.
I'm looking forward to it.
One spill and that boat's going to stink.
Yeah. But Michael's got the ball rolling with the dehydrated stuff, but the phase one of the food as well, because Michael's built the power system on the boat and we have a fridge freezer on board. We're going to start off fresh. So my partner, the lovely Valerie, she will be stocking us up to start the race. So we'll actually have fresh food for the first at least 5 days, and then move into the dehydrated zone.
I'll be catching us some salmon, don't you worry.
I can't wait to follow your race.
Oh.
We are packing fishing gear.
Great. Are you going to take any crab traps?
Oh, we're not slowing down for crab traps.
Some people do.
Yeah, we might. We've got one.
What's the return plan?
My neighbor is a fisherman, and he has just delivered our motor to Prince Rupert. Mm-hmm. And Spooner has some friends that are going to pick up the boat there and enjoy a ride back.
Awesome.
Yeah, I put an ad out. So we've got a guy and his son Troy they're gonna fly up there. They're from Washington State. Troy's an adventure racer as well. Him and his son are gonna go up there to Prince Rupert. We're gonna fly home, and they're gonna jump on board and bring it back.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does. And I am really looking forward, like I said, to watching your race. I really enjoy the energy among you three. It's clear you've been working hard and long on this and gotten lots of great support from your families. And I'll be in Victoria on the docks, and I look forward to seeing you when you arrive.
Awesome.
Wonderful. We're looking forward to making it to Victoria too.
The adventure starts today.
That's right.
Thanks so much,
All right.
Jen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you again to Jen. She has been stalwart in her support of the Race to Alaska podcast by conducting these interviews, but also the wider Fashionably Late team. They really deserve some kudos as well. I don't know if you know, but they've been behind the scenes since their last run at the race course, helping out in a lot of ways, especially when the race has its stopover in Victoria. They'll be helping out again this year, so if you're in Victoria, make sure you give them a thanks. Okay, last interview today conducted by another great supporter and past racer, Katie Stewart. She talked to Team Hull Yeah.
You know what? Let's just go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep. All right. So we're already in hot water with the race boss because we tried this before and had way too much to talk about and accidentally talked for close to 3 hours.
Yeah.
So we're going to do better this time. So Jason's going to explain how he is the lead instigator of this team and also probably where he found this boat and how this team got formed.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with the boat. So we were, ever since I heard about Race to Alaska, I wanted to do it. And then, so initially I thought I'd do it with my brother and like some of the people that did the Platte Canyon Yacht Club stuff. So we went down, they did 70-48, supported them. That's when I met you, Katie, who was talking about the race. And that was in 2019 after you had finished then in Magpie. So we thought at that time we would take a Catalina 22 swing keel, and it had learned better that that was not a very good boat. So yeah, we worked out like when your friend Pete was selling Magpie, and I reached out and thought there was no way we'd ever be able to work a deal out, and we did. And so we brought it home and then learned how to sail here in Colorado on it, just every chance we got on Carter Lake right by my house, and then signed up to do the Race to Alaska in 2021, and it didn't happen, obviously. So we did the first Washington 360. At the end of that, like my team, so with my brother and Kip and some of those guys, we were just decided that they're like, nah, we don't want to go to Alaska. Like, this is exposed enough. We had a really rough crossing in the Strait the last day of Washington 360, and yeah, it changed some perspective. So hindsight, grateful for Washington 360 because I don't think we were ready to go to Race to Alaska as a team. Like, I think the boat obviously had been there. The boat could have done it. I think, those kind of team dynamics and trusting each other. So it's been bouncing around my head since then, like hasn't ended as a goal, and but just kind of the right people to do it with. And so I met Taylor, who immediately told me like she was going to do Race to Alaska last year, and we got in a little argument about it. And I said, "No, you're not."
I really, really thought we were going to do it. And I'm so glad you told us.
Yeah. And then I'm like, they're not doing the race last year. So
I was like, I just told you the other day, and we're totally going to do it. We're looking for a sailboat.
yeah.
But we were wrong.
And yeah, Joe found a boat, and so they did Washington 360. And after their race, we talked about it, and basically, like, do you want to do Race to Alaska? Let's do it. So that's kind of how it all started, how we got here.
And no offense to Joe, but Jason's boat was a little better.
No offense taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so whole new team dynamic since the last time you guys and I talked, right?
Yeah.
You did a little restructuring since you first applied.
Yes. So the team Dog Smile last year, that was Taylor, Joe, and Charlie.
Wait, we were Dogfish, not Dog Smile.
Dogfish. Oh, sorry, Dog Smile's the other one.
Dog Smile, somebody else.
Yeah. There is a Dogfish. So they did Washington 360 together. So we thought, well, crew of 4, you guys all know that you know how to work together. And so, yeah, we had 4 of us. We had Charlie was part of the team at that time and started working on things. But, I think one of the hardest things about this race is who you do it with. Because when you have to commit so much to one single task, like there's nowhere to hide. Like you're very raw. Like your insecurities come out, your shortcomings come out, like all of those things come out. And it's part of what I love about the race, but it's really hard for people to understand fully, I think, the commitment when they say yes. And I think that's where, Charlie's a great guy when he's right in front of you, and he just was not really sure about the commitment. So
yeah, building a team around everyone's skill set, right? You have to know what everyone's capable of, and you have to make sure that you can fill in all the gaps, even at 2 a.m. if the person with the most sailing experience has to go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. When I was on Magpie, I think we have 4 people, but you just make sure that you're matching people up on watch that creates a full skill set, right?
Yeah.
If you can. And if you can't, then it sounds like you need to do what you did and maybe reassess. We're not throwing anyone under the bus.
Yeah. No, and it's, I'm glad, like, they're hard decisions, but like if you have questions, you deal with the questions before you leave. Right. So,
yeah.
And I have full confidence in Taylor and Joe, and they could do it without me. Right. I know that, but I still carry a sense of responsibility for them. And
sure.
You just feel that, and you want it to be great. And I feel absolutely great about it. And now we have more weight capacity for beverages.
I've always felt a full sense of responsibility for, obviously the entire team if anything goes wrong. And not only that, but for the entire race itself, if anything goes wrong. You don't want to be the team where if it's catastrophic, you're the one that ends the race.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I know you've done a bunch of work. You've modified Magpie quite a bit, and you have done some awesome work on a cool pedal drive. So tell me about that.
Yeah. So the goal was always to be able to do, to have 2 people on and the rest of the crew able to rest in normal conditions. So I really wanted the easy way is a rear facing pedal drive, but we wanted forward facing pedal drives so that with a tiller extension, you could steer, you could keep watch,
I love it.
So So we'll have tandem pedal drives. They're not C cycles. They're all built custom because they're way too long. And we have oars for backup to put on the side. We'll talk about a team whether they're ready to go if we want to take them.
Mm-hmm.
There are sometimes
sometimes it's not even that it's actually effective, but it's that everyone needs to feel that they're being helpful in panic mode. You know what I mean? Like, see more narrows, you're getting swept sideways. Maybe those oars aren't actually functional, but at least everyone feels like shit's going sideways and they're helping.
Yeah.
For that reason, maybe it makes sense just to bring them.
Yeah, I think we'll probably bring them just because it's easy. When we were in Deception Pass, we were sailing through there. We were with the current, but it was over 5 knots of current, and you don't have laminar flow across your rudder. So we got in there, and the rudder did not do much any longer. So we jumped on the oars, and we were able to point the boat with the oars and keep the sails filled that way. So
yeah, it's a strong argument for bringing them.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. So we've done that. As a team, we went out to Long Beach in January and went sailing with someone who really knows trimarans.
Who's that someone?
Scott Kladowski. So he's raced all kinds of trimarans, and Newport to Ensenada 10 times. He was or multi-hulls in general. He was a NARCA world champion twice, I think. He really taught us the ropes of kind of how to properly sail a trimaran. And I've never really sailed with anyone who knows how to sail trimarans. That was my first time. I learned a ton. We all learned how to sail the boat well. So
me either. I wish I'd been there.
Yeah, it was really fun. I wish you'd been there too. So, yeah, we had a great time. That's the only time really we've all been together as a team before we get to Port Townsend. So,
hey, listen, it's huge to actually be together as a team before you get to Port Townsend. So yeah. You're already winning. I haven't heard much from Joe yet. Let's hear something from Joe.
What do you want to hear?
Well, it looks like you're a truck guy. What are you doing on a boat?
I got all kinds of projects. I'm a boat guy as much as I'm a truck guy.
Yeah. Why don't you guys talk about how you and Taylor met and got into sailing?
There you go.
Taylor and I met in college. We got into sailing after college, after we both graduated. I got a wild hair to buy a boat, and Taylor and her husband at the time, me and my wife at the time, pulled our money together and bought a 32-foot Hunter Vision. And we moved on to it that summer and lived on the boat, all 4 of us, for 5-6 months. None of us had ever sailed before. So we taught ourselves how to sail with the help of some folks you meet at the dock when you're in a marina. But yeah, books, YouTube, little self-confidence, taught ourselves to sail one summer, and the next summer we sailed that boat down to Mexico. Well, I guess we all sailed down to San Francisco, and Taylor took it the rest of the way to Mexico. Yeah, and now I have a little trailer sailboat and done a little windsurfing since then, but not a whole lot else. Long Beach, like Jason mentioned, and that's kind of all the sailing I've done. I guess some of those are pretty big trips, but not like
for like 2 years.
Yeah. Joe, yes. What are you most worried about on this race?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm worried about a whole lot. Maybe ambition. If we end up too close to first place, we might find ourselves making poor decisions, trying to come in first. But I don't think the risk of that happening is too great. There's some much longer Corsairs in the race course, so something would have to happen. But besides that, I think we're all pretty capable. We're all committed to making it there safe. Yeah, just take each challenge as it comes. We got an anchor. We'll pull over if we have to.
Yep, I think I anchored that thing twice on the way up.
It could be done.
Yep, yep. Once in the middle of Johnstone, for sure.
In the middle?
Not in the middle. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, wait, twice, I think. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as you all know that you might need to take a pause.
Yeah.
That thing is hard to human power.
Yeah.
What are you most afraid of?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm afraid of anything really either.
I'm not afraid of anything. I can tell.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think the biggest thing that people might be afraid of is like team dynamic stuff. But I love Jason. I love Joe. Joe and I obviously know that we can work together on a boat super well. Last year in the Washington 360, I think we all laughed harder than I've ever laughed in my life about things. Like, you get delusional at 2 a.m. and you're rowing and you're just like, I think all of our sentences ended up being an inside jokes by the end. So I'm not worried about that. And I think with that, like we can get through whatever hard thing happens. I guess logs, that's always a fear, but
sure.
We hit a log and then we'll figure it out and figure out what happens. So I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
No, that's okay. No
But we
fears.
know how to swim. We could swim to shore.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask Jason to talk about the ways he's modified Magpie since I sailed it, but it looks like he disappeared. Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here.
I know you've done some really cool things to her.
Yep. So she has a bowsprit.
Uh-huh.
She has a screecher, a new spinnaker, 775 square feet or something. It's pretty big. So the all new electronics for the second time. Like now, the electronics will be the same. We'll have about 630 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries.
Oh, good choice.
Yep. Because there's not room for big heavy lead acids. That would not be good. So we'll have a lot more capacity. Basically all new running rigging, pretty much. So
Awesome.
I replaced the main sheet a few years ago with a two speed, like 4-to-1 or 8-to-1, depending how you do it. New backstays, put a downhaul on it, like just lots of those things to make it a little easier and more reliable to sail that way. Building a hydro generator to drag behind the boat to generate some current when we're sailing and trying to slow down. So yeah, it's been a lot. I've learned a lot. And I think, yeah, those are the big things that I've done. Nothing cosmetic except take the stripes off. That was it.
I know. And again, once again, I have to apologize for the damn stripes.
Seemed like such a good idea at the time.
It seems, I mean, it was so cool. It looked so cool. It was one of those like as seen on TV, like ads. It was supposed to peel right off. Again, I'm so sorry. It was kind of rad though, but
it was totally rad.
But I'm really sorry again for like the 5th time.
I think that was the best looking boat in Race to Alaska history. That looked rad. So.
And you fixed the hatch on the Starboard that I caved in and flooded the AMA.
Sure did. Like redid all the hatches. Some of the balsa core was a little soggy around those. I tried to
stop that.
You did. You it was watertight for sure. So I went through and cleaned that up, get everything resealed. Yeah, doing that. Like I rebedded most everything on the deck and all that. Took there were some funny vents in weird places on the deck that I removed. So
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
All right. You guys are really, really down to the wire on the start. So I know that you're in Colorado, and I can see that Magpie's in Colorado because she's right behind you. So what's the plan? When is she leaving? When do you arrive in Port Townsend? What's your final to-do list?
Oh my gosh, the list. Yeah, the list, it feels long and stresses out all the type A friends that I have, because we're finishing pedal drives, then we're getting in the water and testing the hydro generator and the pedal drives and make sure we dial in our gear ratios for that. Then we'll pack the boat up. Taylor and I will leave here on June 9th, get down to the Seattle area, like June 10th, go drop off my pallet, and pick my wife Karen up at the airport, and then we'll get up to Port Townsend on the 11th.
Your pallet has the outboard, I assume.
The outboard and probably just gas tanks, but in the outboard. I don't think we'll have, there won't be a whole lot else in there, I don't think. So, we're busy here. Joe's done lots of work on our sleep schedule, ordering all our safety equipment, all of that.
Awesome.
So he's got, like new EPIRBs, new personal locator beacons with AIS, because the boat has AIS. So if someone were to end up in the water, we would like to have a signal of where they are beyond just their man overboard. So, taking those precautions. Taylor's got our whole food, our whole menu for 2 weeks of food to get up there. Hopefully we don't need all of that.
2 weeks, but or just in case, we'll have extra snacks.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it's all kind of coming together, normal haul a boat across the country.
That's not normal. But yes. Taylor, what's the number one 2 a.m. snack?
Ooh, nerd gummy clusters.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay. Okay.
I also just had the salmon cream cheese cracker snack thing that I got at this race that I ran this morning, and those are freaking good. So I think we should bring a bunch of those too, because they don't need to be refrigerated.
Winner. Yeah, because it shouldn't all be candy.
I mean, yeah. Those last year we were mostly powered on Sour Patch Kids, right?
Yeah.
That somebody gave us. What was that guy's name? He was awesome. Do you remember, Joe?
Big Move Canoe. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. Rob?
I think so. He gave us a whole huge packet of Sour Patch Kids, and that is totally what fueled us when we were rowing through the night at 3 a.m.
Yeah, just by the handful.
My sister and I are jelly bean girls.
Ooh, nice. I have some jelly beans here, actually. So,
all right. What do we need to add that we haven't covered, out of the last 3 hours that we accidentally did before?
That was a lot of fun.
So what are the tidbits? Because that was great. I wish everyone could have heard the whole 3 hours. The one thing is about Jason, how you kind of got into this with the kids on the 7048, because I think that's super important.
Yeah. So it was interesting because 7048 didn't really start it. It was Race to Alaska that was always the goal of the adults, but we were like, how can we do it? We're all educators, did not have extra money, had time. So the KIP really wanted to build boats. And so they started the Platte Canyon High School Yacht Club, and Platte Canyon High School is a little small town up in the mountains of Colorado. So Yacht Club was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
The thing about sailing out here is it is such a great tool for building skill sets in youth. It's a great tool anywhere you are, but here, a lot of people don't know about sailing, and so none of the students are too cool for that. Like, they're like, all right, whatever, we'll do it. So they built the boat, went out and did 70-48 with like, I don't know, like 23 kids or something. Like,
it was so cool to watch. It was so cool to watch them building it, them like being successful in building it, getting it to the start, and then finishing it. It was mind-boggling. It was so awesome to watch.
It was really, really cool. And it was a huge deal, I think, for the Northwest Maritime Center too, because there were some local schools that wanted to do something, and at that time they would not, their school boards and would not allow it. It's too dangerous. But here, they didn't know any better. So so out they go. And it was really awesome. Like, just the outpouring of support from locally, and then also in the Pacific Northwest and Northwest Maritime Center. So they did that a couple years, and then they ended up, like, that created opportunity at the Utah School for the Deaf and Blind, where they took students out to Salt Lake in Utah and helped them build a boat, gave them parts, because every year they're thinking, how can we make this 40-foot? It was a 40-foot dragon boat that they built, and decided instead of outriggers, they'd make it a trimaran so they could put more paddlers out and it was a spectacle. It was something.
It was so cool to watch. Honestly, all I could think about was, like, how are these, like, 15 or whatever high school age kids gonna handle, like, peeing and pooping in a row? Like, but whatever, you know.
And which was funny. That was everyone's question. Like, how are you going to do that? And
I was like, you all are going to have to get real comfortable with biology, like, real fast.
You know what? They threw their hands up, and they're like, you know what? You guys figure it out. And it was like magic. Every now and then, I guess a bucket would just go overboard. They're like, okay, no one even know what was going on. So
perfect.
It was awesome. And then I think it really, like, was just a really powerful tool for their community. Like, that school had experienced a school shooting incident in that school in a little small community. And so when you would Google their school, that's what would always come up. And so one of their,
oh man,
sorry, I'll get a little choked up. Like, one of the goals was to change that narrative for their community.
It did 100%.
It did 100%. And so it's just really, really cool. And I think, like, that started just a whole lot of passion and better understanding of the maritime, like, community. And every time I go to Port Townsend, it's like, who am I? Like, I'm an inlander from Colorado, like, I'd never been on a sailboat, and I feel like you're just walking into family. And and this, like, our team, like, we all care about youth and work with youth, and I cannot wait until I can spend more time, like, finding ways to get kids on the water, get students on the water that wouldn't be, because we do all kinds of things to, like, help build confidence and work with the mental health issues that youth are facing right now. And frankly, like, I mean, the medication, the counseling, that stuff's not very effective, until they want it to be. But if you can get someone outside their comfort zone and you get them in a sailboat, and it's scary, and then they they adjust sails and they're okay. Like, it's immediate feedback. It is the best thing that I've seen in my career. And I've worked with
Yeah.
youth with special needs, like, for 40 years, right? Like, almost 40 years. So it's, it is so effective at building resilience in people. And it's just a missed opportunity that the sport is dying and that we don't have enough people doing it. And so places like the Northwest Maritime Center are just pure gold.
Yep. That was awesome to watch. I loved it.
It was so fun.
Yeah. All right. Before we get in trouble with the race boss for running too long, do you guys have anything to add? Joe or Taylor? Anything? Support or, people to thank or anything?
I don't know. Do you? I feel like last time we talked, you gave us a bunch of advice and had a bunch of fun stories. Do you have anything to add?
Oh, we don't have time for that. Call me later.
Okay.
I am so inspired by Taylor and Joe, right? And it's, I just see where they are at this stage in their life already and the things that they're doing and the courage they have to just do it. And like, even the vulnerability to be like, yeah, we'll jump on your boat with you. And like, knowing like this is a very intimate undertaking, right? Like you're in it together, and it's not just a trip. Like, there's so many unknowns, and there's just a complete faith in one another. And like, it's just I'm awed that they have that faith in me. At some point we'll be able to have time to get the word out more. Like, it has been everything all of us could do to just manage our jobs and our family and get the money to do it. It's expensive to do from long ways away, but we do have some sponsors. So Joe's company, Joe started a brand new company, and so they're one of our sponsors. So I'm going to butcher the name, Joe, so you'd say it.
Shout it out. Go, Joe.
Substation Equipment Services.
Woo!
Yeah,
we just do testing for substation equipment, but passionate about sailing in the Northwest Maritime.
Awesome.
So, and then 180 Marine, which is housed here in Denver, and they sell Corsairs, so they've been a sponsor of ours. So they really made the trip to San Diego possible for us to do that and go down to Long Beach, I guess, and learn how to sail the boats, and have just been a huge resource in getting us connected. Corum Prosthetics, they make my legs, and so they're hooking me up with like leg parts. I now will be able to charge my computerized knee on the trip, so I don't have to bring a janky old leg. I could bring the nice one. So that will be
we
great.
Just say that in passing as if it's nothing, but
yeah, well, for me it is. And then the Boat Barn, my small business that just does some boat restoration, tries to get boats on the water with youth so that they can learn how to sail, and hopefully that grows to something bigger in the future. But
awesome.
And if anybody else wants to sponsor us, that'd be cool. 2 of us work for the school district, so we don't make like actual money.
Right.
Yeah. Nerd clusters. They pay us in nerd clusters.
Yeah, I would love that, actually.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say one thing real quick, Jason, about you saying that me and Joe are so inspiring. That's really nice. A lot of people think Joe and I are super dumb because that's why we became friends back in the day, because we just always say yes to things, probably like without thinking things through super well. So thanks for letting us be your yes people and for letting us join you on this trip and doing all these crazy things.
I was told really early in my career to just always say yes to everything. So,
Yeah, might as well.
Right? All right, you guys, before we get in trouble with Race Boss, I think that was pretty great. I had planned to see you at the start, but instead I'll be driving across the country to relocate to California.
Yeah.
But I will be tracking you every minute. You know that you're my favorite boat.
Yes. Wow, that is saying something.
I mean, I love her.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was counting us as part of the boat.
Oh, you are. You're.
But,
I mean,
but if it's just Magpie, like I understand that.
you're the
I
meat
love
on the boat. It's fine. All right,
All
guys.
right.
Good luck. Get ready to go. You have not much time left.
No, we are right there.
Yeah.
This is can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie.
All right, everybody, we're right against it. Only one more episode of interviews coming out sometime next week. In the meantime, make sure you remember how to use the Yellow Brick Tracker. Remember how the internet works. Clear your schedules so you can track the dots as they fly up the course to Alaska. Tell your friends, tell your family. See you next week.